Gentleman, Mr. Biggs.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. So my initial line of questions was going to be, as we've seen, this has gone on for 10 months, and you've all participated in interactions with FEMA and SBA and HUD, et cetera. My question was going to be, because I really want to, and I guess I'm going to ask it anyway, but I'm anticipating what the answer. I shouldn't anticipate what the answer is, but I'll just ask the question. Have you seen improvement? In processing, communication, et cetera? And your answer, Mr. Hammond, Mr. Goss indicates maybe not. But I want to know if from day one, when we're still in chaos and trying to bring order to this situation, has there been improvement in the process itself to, as the mayor said, to achieve the purpose? So I guess that's my question. Have lessons been learned? Has there been evolution along the way to make this better, or are you still experiencing the same problems today, maybe a different flavor than you were experiencing 8-9 months ago?
Very effective.
Thank you, Congressman. There have been situations that have been remedied thanks to reaching out to our member of Congress and other members of the Florida delegation. For instance, I mentioned that letter questioning the values of our local property appraiser. With some help from our Florida delegation, that situation was then walked back after a couple weeks and a meeting to offer clarification to FEMA. There are also now more inspectors on the ground, thanks again to the pressure that was brought by the Florida delegation, but it took help from our member and our representative to make that happen. So I can say that I, as a policymaker, am not in the day-to-day workings in the Emergency Operations Center with the FEMA partners. We are grateful that they're here and helping us out, but certainly it has taken a lot of extra help to get the process moving in the direction we needed it to.
Thank you. Mayor, any comment on that?
There was comment during the last panel about every hurricane's different, every disaster is different. I could tell you every traffic stop I made, every crime scene I worked, every critical incident I handled was different, but yet the same. The basics were there. And I think that's what's being missed is they come in, and we're very thankful for the response. But yet the workers come in, and it's almost like they're starting over. Like the project manager that was assigned to the city, this was one of her first disasters. And it was a disaster of this magnitude that she's getting her feet wet, and she couldn't handle it. Then the person who replaced her was that person with the process, wasn't really focused on the purpose. So I echo again the commissioner. It was only through pressure and the help we received from elected officials, putting the pressure on those agencies.
Thank you, Mr. Goss.
Yeah, I think that honestly, most of the people I deal with and talk to have probably given up by now and have gone to conventional lending and have gone to the rental market or figured something else out and just said, look, I'm not going to deal with either FEMA for housing or SBA for loans. We're going to figure this out, because initially they're the only ones around, and you need them really badly because everyone else is sort of out of business. But then everyone else comes back into business, so now there is a little bit of a rental market. Now, 10 months, 11 months later, there is conventional lending. So I think that the need for it isn't as bad. I think it's the initial need is when they really need to be there.
So at the beginning, and I was fascinated by this story. Is that was not an anecdote? The 94-year-old gentleman living in his garage next to you.
That's not an anecdote.
Okay.
Not next to me, but on the island.
Okay. So, were you proactively contacted at all by FEMA or other agencies, or did you initiate contact?
They were pretty good about calling me on the phone, and which was always, in going through the whole trailer thing, it was how many people are you, what do you need, and I explained it to them, and then once they said you're approved, I never heard from them again. And that was the interesting thing. I mean, generally they were pretty good. And same with the SBA. They would call. And I talked to lots and lots of people about lots and lots of things, but nothing ever happened.
So in the process, I guess maybe this should where I should have started, but did you find that you filled out the application, you think you're done, and then you were supplementing? Were you going through a process where it was where it almost was evolving?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, there's definitely an evolution of the process with SBA. It was, you reach one milestone, and then there's another milestone, and then there's another milestone, and it's with a different person who didn't understand the last milestone.
Mr. Chairman, my time is up. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.